Welcome back to Podiums and Platforms. This is part two of the last video I gave on when the season ends. This series is going to be a three-part series on seasons. So for video one, we talked about when the season ends, and today we're going to talk about when the season is canceled. I have related this talk in regards to our favorite TV shows and how they have different seasons. And sometimes, there's a season ending, like we talked about last time, and it's only paused until we go into the next season, right? And so I'm thinking about it in the same way of what it's like when a season actually is canceled. And so, as I've stated in my other videos, Podium and Platform seeks to encourage celebrities, people of influence, and public figures, and that is of all walks of life. Many of the things that I talk about applies to everyone, really. Anyone could take this and apply it to their life. And so my example before you today is like the lives of an actress or an actor, and producers and those who create these wonderful seasons of TV shows that we watch all the time. And there comes a time where either the season ends, right? Or the season gets canceled, or possibly the season is all the way over, meaning the show is over. There won't be another one. So this video is going to talk to you about what it's like when a season is canceled. And my next video will talk to you about what it's like when a show is over. So in this video, when a season is canceled, oftentimes we feel things like this in our lives. The season is often canceled by someone else who has the power to make the decision to cancel it. What do I mean? When the decision is in the hands of someone else calls the shot for whether or not a show is canceled or a show won't return, right? When we're dealing with TV shows. But it's also like that with our life. That sometimes certain seasons in our lives are canceled by people who have the control to cancel them. That means that they are out of our control. Like, for example, sometimes our employers have the ability to cancel our jobs, right? Sometimes we have had a beautiful wedding planned and all these different things, and that other partner decided that he or she wanted to cancel the wedding, or that maybe they have canceled it now. Maybe it didn't work out, or maybe you were left at the altar, right? And so you had this wonderful plan of something that you thought was going to happen, but actually the plans got canceled. Or sometimes in life, you have plans about your life and where you think it's going to go, or what have you, but the connections that you had to and people you had to engage who had the power that be were the ones who were able to make the call and say, actually, this plan is canceled. It won't happen. And it's tough when it's not in our hands, when we don't have control over the seasons and things that are canceled in our life. That's hard for us to swallow because we usually like to be in control. But as you all know, if you live a little bit, you know that some things in our life are canceled and they're beyond our control. So that's what I want to talk about to you, is what it looks like when it's beyond your control, when you couldn't even control it. Like this is like this when you have plans for someone and their life is gone, or you have a tragic death, right? And it just goes away. But the reality of it is that some things were canceled and they were without your control. You had no control over it at all. And so when all roads look like it was going to happen, but it didn't happen, that's hard. Everything else was lined up like it was going to be. This is how it is with TV shows. Sometimes they already know there's going to be a season two. They planning for it, they prepared for, or what have you. But the powers that be says the show is canceled. When it looked like it was going to go on, when everything looked like it was lined up to be right, but yet it was canceled. That's very, very hard when all roads lead to yes, and it turns out to be a no. That's hard to swallow. It's hard to adjust to. It's hard to be able to relate to. And it definitely catches us by surprise. And oftentimes, it leaves us with in places where there's no ending. Like we never really had a chance to have a real ending, right? These are like open-ended situations. There was no real closure here. No real close. I had no time to be able to prepare for this cancellation. I had no time to be able to heal or get the answers I needed to close this out in my life. That's what it's like when you're left with no real ending. A cancellation happens, it's usually by surprise. You're not usually prepared for it. You didn't have a chance to settle things. You didn't have a chance to end the score, right? There's no true closure. Well, if you ever experience this in life, today I just have 3 things that I want to share with you to encourage your hearts. Number 1, canceled plans are like closed doors. I'll repeat that again. Canceled plans are like closed doors. Sometimes they are blessings in disguise. What do I mean by saying that? That not every door that closes, not every situation that is canceled is a bad thing. Some things are actually blessings. There are certain things that we even desire. We want it so bad with a passion. We wanted it to happen like so greatly, right? But if that thing would have happened, if that would have came to pass, if you would have got it, sometimes it could have been so detrimental, or it may not have been what you had thought it would have been, or it may not have been something good for you. And we realize it later that although this was hurtful, although it caught me by surprise, although I was sad, mad, and upset about it, it actually turned out to be a blessing in disguise. It was a blessing in disguise. Something better came. Something better worked out. A new opportunity that I didn't expect. I didn't know it was around the corner. When one door closes, it's oftentimes me because something else is opening. But we can't see it because all we know is that we wanted it and we expected it and everything was leading up to it and going in that direction. But I want you to know, point 1, that sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. Point 2, while as disappointing as it is, oftentimes they are detours. That's right. There are detours. You either have to go right or you either have to go left. But either way, it leads you to somewhere else. So what am I trying to say? What is your somewhere else? You and I have to find out where that somewhere else is. It's like a road. When a door closes, sometimes it's a detour to something else. So taking time to inventory our lives and to really ponder and to think and once we can press past the shock of it all, the shock of the cancellation, and we can possibly come to a place that we can start really to see again that this was actually a detour to somewhere else. So I actually have to find out, what is my somewhere else? Where is my somewhere else? Because you have one. You have a somewhere else. This was not your only option. So cancellations often are detours, are detours. Okay. And my point 3 is this. We have to come to grips with the fact that it's just not going to be what we hope for. It's just not going to be what we had planned or what we thought for, what we thought it was going to be. We have to come to a grips that it's just not it. It's not going to be it, right? And that's very hard to process sometimes, is that we hold on to it and we mourn what it should have been and what it could have been and what we thought it was going to be. But sometimes in life, when we really want to pick up and get ourselves up and hold our head up, we have to take a moment to come to terms with the fact that it's not going to be what we have hoped for. A wise person told me one time is sometimes you actually do have to mourn the loss of that thing. What you thought it was going to be, what you hoped it would be. You actually have to mourn it. Just like you lost somebody, you actually have to mourn it sometimes. And that's okay, because you know what? That process takes time. So take the time that you need to process through it. It takes time. Okay, don't try to rush it. It's all right. You're a real person. Go ahead and process through it, okay? And then also be real about your feelings. How do you feel about it? Right? You have feelings. Allow yourself to feel. It's okay to feel what it is that you feel. Explore your feelings. Don't neglect them or act like they don't exist, right? Because they're real. And so are you. So take some time and say, what do I really feel about this? How does this really make me feel? And process through that thing. Okay? Don't rush it. And my last thing that I like to say to you is that when we go through these situations and the journeys and the detours and the change and the cancellations and the unexpected moments, don't worry about it. You will get there. I have 4 words. You will get there. I feel like somebody needs to hear that today. Yes, it was hard. You didn't expect it. But don't worry. You will get there. You're going to make it. You are going to get there. Be encouraged today. I hope that someone hears me today, that no matter what road that you are on, no matter what detours, cancellations, endings that you have had, trust and believe that you will get to your destination. If you keep on going, if you keep on processing, if you keep on trying, if you keep on getting back up, keep on lifting up your head, you will get there. Thank you for listening. If you have some time, check out part 3 of this video. We will talk about when the season is over. Take care.